Good morning, Simon, newearthcooking.com. Today we're going to talk about supplements, right? Because I'm sure you take your goji berries, spirulina, and your chlorella, your colloidal silver, and all your supplements, but you need to take another one. These are the teardrops of a Romanian virgin, and I've bottled it up for you. And at $159, it's available in my web shop. And you don't need to take any responsibility. Sorry, I can't help myself. Bollocks. Of course we're not talking about supplements. We're going to talk about the seasons today. Because New Earth Cooking is about real food. It's about taking responsibility. It's about taking action. It's about having fun with food. Not taking time out of your day to take a horrible supplement, but food becomes your medicine. This, I just kissed the tree. I'll hug it. Because this is an avocado tree. Yes, I love you too. It's only 7 years old. It's been fruiting since she was 3 years old, because in the tropics these things grow really fast. And when people talk about the tropics, they say, well, you know what, there's no seasons like there is in Europe. Well, European seasons are great, but they're overrated when it comes to food, because Bali, for example, only has seasons. And today is the start of avocado season, because look at that. Look at that little baby. That is just starting to come onto the tree. And that tells me that avocado season has kicked off, and I can't think of anything more exciting. So looking at the trees is one way of getting in touch with the seasons, which means it's one way of getting in touch with where your food comes from. What does Mother Nature want to give us today? The other thing we can do is go to the market. Okay, so a couple tips of going to the markets is wear some shoes. The floor is not going to be the same as a supermarket floor. Right, that's number one. I'm not saying that produce markets are always completely better than supermarkets. There's just a big difference. Both supermarkets and produce markets sell local food and imported food. But at the produce markets you get to talk to the people who know more about the food, right? So you can ask them where it's from, and often they'll be able to give you a lot of information. While in the supermarket you might have to deal with a 15-year-old student who doesn't really care where these apples are from. You see what I mean? So often produce markets are better. Also supermarkets employ a relatively small number of people to make all the purchase decisions, which gives them a lot of power and a lot of influence potentially on our farmers and on the market. So I love produce markets for various reasons. It's a good way of getting in touch with your food, but you still got to be switched on. Just because it's at the markets doesn't mean that it's great food. Bring your own bags, right? Because they will want to wrap it all in plastic for you. But if you bring your own bags, I've got a whole bunch with me, we can avoid that, all right? So, other than that, we're good to go. That's the recipe for scrambled eggs. Hold on. Now we look cool together, yeah?
Yes.
So you can smell this durian fruit far from a distance. And you know, you want to take this into a hotel or into public transport, often it's forbidden, right? Because it's so smelly, but I love it.
I
don't even know what they're selling. Apa ini? Okay. Yes, good. Bisa makan?
When there is love, I can't wait to talk about it when things get rough. I like to walk with you when it's night. I like to be the light that's missing and remind you every minute of the future isn't written, not yet. When there is love, when the heart feels heavy, we can lighten it up. If you've had enough, well, you can empty your glass and we can fill it back up. You know it's up to us to make it all up. So what you making up, I can make it up. That you could be loved no matter what. You know the only time is right now. It's right where you are. You don't need a vacation when there's nothing to escape from.
So even in this market store, you can see the difference between the imported fruit on one side, little apple from America, yeah? Or you can get this native to Indonesia snakeskin fruit right there, straight from the jungle. Which one do you prefer? Ibu, berapa harga ini?
Oh itu 17, ya 15 tapi ada tambah lagi.
Yeah.
Makanya kasih berapa?
It's a lot cheaper as well to buy this fruit rather than the imported stuff.
Coba
Apple import berapa sekilo?
impornya ini 45.
Yeah, so this is almost 3 times the price per kilo than the local snakeskin fruit.
Bukain ya.
Yeah, these are like water apples, yeah? Jambu, they're called. Yeah. Asli di mana? Bali, ya? Di pohon. And it comes from a tree. Bisa coba satu? Oh, wow. Oh. What happened? Good. So these magical drinks here are called jamu. Janda muda.
Canda kembang.
And janda muda is basically a young unmarried woman. So we're kind of saying that by drinking this, I will attract on my way home a beautiful woman, not married yet. Dulu beli 20.000 sekilo.
Ada dapat 25 modal
So these little babies here, they're called kacang koro or crispy jack bean, yeah? And this lady here sells them to me, and I love buying these because they're really crispy, really yummy.
Kupas dulu.
Yeah. Saya tidak suka kupas. She tells me peel them first, but I like to eat them with the skin. And they're really high in protein. Okay.
Sing out to protest and the project and harmonize with birds, whether it's your birthday or your dying day. It's a celebration to rejoice, to use your voice and give wings to any old choice. Whatever you're choosing right now is right where you are. You don't need a vacation.
Wow, that was quite a ride. That was really good. We found some really good ingredients, had a lot of fun, had already a lot to eat. I didn't eat breakfast. Now we're going to take all our produce home and cook something. I don't know what yet, but we'll think of something. All right, let's go.
Let's all sing hallelujah. Let's all sing
Apa nama ini?
Kekal.
Kekal.
Iya.
Chicken. Hari ini vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Tiongkok ya.
Bali's got the most ridiculous sambals. I gotta be careful not to drool all over this. Have a look at this. What's the name here? Apa nama ini?
Bongkot.
Bongkot. So that's a ginger torch sambal. So you get yourself all these delicious vegetables, and then you pimp it right up. It dollops. Banyak, yeah?
Spicy.
Spicy. I like spicy. Have a look at this. All these delicious locally grown vegetables from beans, jack beans, eggplants, corn, and local eggs, rice, and all these different sambals on a plate at the local warung. I'm not even gonna pay $2 for this meal. And it's just so yummy. You know, it's so good. Who needs a hamburger? Now, as we know, avocados are in season. And this is my favorite indulgence with avocado in Bali. Really creamy, rich avocado in the blender with some condensed milk and some chocolate on the side. It's like dessert, it's so yummy.